Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Bbeltdan and this is Building the Enterprise J in Blender. Sorry it's been a while. I know it's been quite a bit of time has passed between episodes. Ran into a bunch of problems, mostly with trying to record and model at the same time. So I don't know what the problem was. The computer was getting worse and worse. I was trying to record a couple of episodes, and every time that I did, it got real laggy real quick. So I'm trying a couple of different things, and hopefully this time it will be a charm. But before we go ahead and get on to the modeling, I want to go ahead and kind of inform you that this is a brand new version of Blender that I am using. So as you see, the build date was relatively recent this month. So they've made a couple of UI changes, and I haven't really had that much time to play with it, so it's going to be a bit of a learning curve for me inside this episode. So let's go ahead and get to it. I'm still working on the nacelles, and I did do a little bit of work. If you remember these buzzard scoops, they were more rounded. Now I've kind of made them more rectangular. Now I need to do the same thing to the nacelle housing as well. It was based on a circular design. Now I'm going to try to flatten it out. So we're going to go ahead and work on that. So, oops, there we go. Nope, there we go. All right. But yeah, so it's a brand new version of Blender. I haven't really, once again, like I said, haven't had a lot of experience in using this version. So it's going to be kind of a bit of an interesting experience, I'm going to say. So I've heard some people kind of mention to me in some of the forums that I regularly post at, why am I using Blender and not something like, 3D Max or what have you? And the answer is simple. It's because I am cheap. I don't do 3D modeling enough to where I feel like I can, oops, let me disable that image. There we go. I don't do enough 3D modeling to where I can justify forking over the very significant cost that it takes to do, to purchase 3D Max or anything. Blender, it is free. Oops, wrong one. So, how could I pass that up? And plus, I mean, some people tend to kind of underestimate of exactly how powerful of a program that Blender 3D actually is. I mean, it can do actually quite a bit. Whoops, let me go ahead and do this real quick. There we go. Oops. Actually, I got a little ahead of myself here. So I went ahead and I decided I was going to go ahead and use Blender for this. I mean, it's free. Once again, I'm cheap. I'm not going to fork over the money necessary to try to buy an expensive program, or at least not as of yet. So I don't do this. I'm more of a hobbyist rather than actually trying to do this for, let's say, money or what have you. I mentioned in an earlier episode that I did indeed have a job, but it wasn't a paying job. No way that it was going to be a paying job. And unless I get significantly better at my skills, I don't see me really doing this as a paying job anytime soon. Whoops. Let's see, mirror. Whoops. No, there we go. Let's see. I want to mirror X. No. There we go. Aha, there we go. Is that the right one? Did I miss something? Oh, I must have. All right. So trying to kind of learn all these new little features and everything. Wait, did I miss? Oops. Let me delete those vertices. There we go. And those should line up fairly well. Close. That's good enough. Now let's go ahead. Why is it going into there? There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and combine all of these. Do I have... Let's delete those. I don't need those. Oops. I don't know what happened there. Well, anyways, moving right along. Oh, there we go. Those two right there. So once again, I apologize for those of y'all that are actually enjoying these videos. It's been a while since I've posted. I have been meaning to try to get some more episodes posted. It's just that I've had problems with my computer, and I don't know if I mentioned this on, on any of these episodes, but I'm a little disappointed with the type of computer that I got, because when I bought it, I specifically told the person at Best Buy, oops, sorry, I wasn't meaning to try to say there. I might actually bleep that out in the video. But at the store that I originally got my computer from, I told him exactly what it is that I would like to do. And the guy came back and told me, well, then this right here is the exact computer that you're going to want. So I listened to him and bought the computer. And surely enough, I mean, what the heck? Okay, I'm going to have to fill those in. And surely enough, it didn't do. I mean, I told him I play a lot of games, or I try to play a lot of games. I do 3D modeling, I do video editing, so it needs to be able to do all of that. And of course, the guy came to me and says, "Oh, this computer right here is top of the line. It would be perfect for what it is that you're wanting to do." So I bought the computer, but needless to say, the guy lied. So let me see, delete those. Whoops. Wow. I don't know what happened with some of this here. I'm gonna have to do some cleaning up on this. I don't know what happened there. Well, anyways, let me finish with this. So I'm trying something different, and hopefully it will work, or at least temporarily. I mean, right now I'm not seeing a whole lot of lag on this, but I'm sure it'll pop up in recording. But positive thoughts at this moment. Okay, and there. So there's some hidden vertices, some around in here. So I don't know where these came from. Whoops. So let's delete those. There we go. All right, let's recalculate the norms. Oh, what? Did I do that right there? The FPS? Okay, normals calculate outside. Looks like there's still some areas where the normals are acting kind of weird. I have to look into that. I'm sure it has something to do with some of these. Yeah. Actually, I don't like the way that looks. Let me delete these here. Well, all in all, I don't know what y'all probably think about how this is coming along. I'm still a little bit on the fence, but however, though, I have recently decided to make a decision. Darn it. A decision. I have quit it. At last. There we go. I have went ahead and made the decision to where, well, let me back up a little bit. I was always intended to where when I would make this, I was going to try to stay as close as I could to the actual model of the pictures that I could. And so I've spent quite a bit of time, as you've probably seen in my first episodes, trying to get everything to match up. But despite my best efforts, I really couldn't get the thing to match up exactly 100%. So I got tired of fiddling with it. So I have now went ahead and made the decision to where I am only going to use it as a rough guide, at least as far as the usual shape. And to go ahead and show you exactly what I'm talking about here, let's go back to our camera view and bring in the image. I mean, here we're getting very close, but as I get close on one side, I tend to notice that it looks a little bit, tends to get a little bit off on, whoops, on the other side. Here, as you can see, I mean, on that other side, if you look at it, this front portion looks like it's right where it needs to be, but here, this little overhang is too far back. So if I mess with it on this side, it don't look right on that side. So rather than spending hours and hours and hours trying to get it to where it be an exact match, I just decided I'm close enough, basically. I'll just get as close as I can, and then the rest I'm going to interpret. In fact, I'm going to have to do a lot of interpretations because this model is, I mean, the original model designer, he said it was rushed. So there's a lot of designs, a lot of greebles, so to say, I think is the technical term, that was not put into place, that need to be put into place to really make this look like a very well done and designed ship. So yeah, I went ahead and made that decision. So from now on, you're not going to see me fiddle around with trying to get everything exact. I'm going to try to get it to where I'll be happy basically if it fits up about 90% of the time. So far that looks pretty good. I think that little bit of flatness there, I'm going to have to do some little tweaking around on the edges here. Yeah, so I'm going to have to fix that line a little bit, and I'll do that off camera. But what I will do right now is, let's see, kind of round this up a little bit. There we go. Ah, why is it doing that? Yeah, just a little more work. I'll probably make it a little bit wider when everything's all said and done. But yeah, so far so good. I'm becoming happier with that. All right. Oops, let's go ahead and delete those vertices. Fill those in. So I'll go back and adjust those later. And there we go. Oh, I know I talked in previous episodes about how how my sons, they seem to be becoming big Star Trek fans, and they still are. In fact, just recently, we went ahead and I bought my first model kit, Star Trek model kit that I've had in a long time. And it's a three-piece kit that I got from a store. And inside that kit, it happens to have, it's it has the Enterprise, it has the Reliant, and it has a Klingon ship. So it's kind of cool, from the movies. Three-piece set. Now overall models are about like 4 inches to 3.5 inches, but they're supposed to be you know within a relative exact size to each other. How am I going? You know what? Let's just do this. Delete. Do all this again. Yeah, there we go. I'll just do that. They're supposed to be within a relative size of each other. The three ships, it's supposed to be exact scale. The Enterprise, exact scale to the Reliant, exact scale to the Klingon. I think it was Catan class. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Let's just go ahead and expand that out all the way. So we're putting that together, and it's a snap together, but I've learned a long time, don't trust, you know, pieces that snap together because they don't really tend to want to hold their shape very well. I mean, they don't want to stay together very well, so I'm going to be gluing those together. The one problem that I do have with that is that they're not the easiest models to paint. They actually require you to put on decals. I mean, they're very small, so you can't really put in a lot of the details with painting. So you have to put in these decals. And I'm talking about like, the entire Aztec pattern, all the little grid lines on the ship. I mean, that's all on decals. So I'm not really too happy with that. But, with my 7-year-old, he don't care. When I just put them all together and they were completely white, he was wanting to play with it right away. And I keep telling him, no, these aren't really the type of models to play. They're not toys, they're models. But, oh well, as cheap as they are, and, you know, both in price and in construction, I'll probably just go ahead and give them to him anyways. So, but, yeah. So, let me see. Well, so far it's looking pretty good. And mainly this episode was for testing out to see whether if some of the changes that I've made to my operating system, dealing with the RAM issues, and um, downloaded the new version of Blender, a couple little changes. I wanted to make sure that they were indeed working properly and they would kind of help, and so far they are. So I haven't experienced any kind of lag with this, and hopefully when I'm going in editing, I won't see any kind of lag. So hopefully the videos that'll be coming out will be coming out a lot more frequently. I have to admit that on my YouTube channel, this does tend to be the most popular of the series. So of course I'm going to try to work on releasing more of these as best as, there we go, as much as possible. So if y'all enjoy it, please let me know in the comments once again about what y'all think about this. See, I would really kind of like y'all's input on how I should progress on this. Next time I cut back in, I'm going to try to have these nacelles more, you know, designed out, more ironed out a bit, make them a little more rounded. Probably put on the subsurf modifier so I can get some shapes in, and put in some greeble work and everything. Like here, I'm sure that those are lights, so I'll try to put those in. Yep, definitely lights, running lights, so I'll put those in on them. And um, you know, think of about grid lines, hull lines, and things. So some of the hull lines and grid lines, they're going to be textures, but some of it I like to try to model in as well. So, but yeah, so far the ship is looking pretty good. Oh, and I've also done a little bit more work on this section right here as well. So, but yeah, this next part. I think this is going to be part 9 of building the Enterprise J. So, and many more parts to come. But next time I come in, I'm going to have a lot more of this done. So until then, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.